Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at system stacking, but taken to a real extreme. It's called the Wholeness-Inspired Life Design, or WILD, and it's the blueprint of Christopher Macor, CM, a creator who's basically formalized and tracked, what, over 100 regular activities?
It's pretty wild, yeah. And what's really fascinating is how he pulls it all together. He calls himself a centripetal polymath.
Okay, centripetal polymath, what does that mean exactly?
It means he's not just interested in lots of different fields, like spirituality, AI, tech, whatever. He actively connects them, pulls them towards this single unifying purpose.
Right, and that purpose is tied to his other identity, the Spiro-Creato entrepreneur. Spiritual, creative, entrepreneurial.
Precisely.
So our mission today really is to kind of find the shortcut through this complexity. We're organizing his whole universe into daily, weekly, monthly rituals.
Yeah, to see what we can actually distill, what you, the listener, can maybe take away.
And the relevance for you listening is, well, it's about how energy transfers systematically, isn't it?
Right. It is. CM shows how, deep structure and focus in one area, say, spirituality or relationships, can feed into everything else, makes it all more coherent, more effective.
It's a roadmap for living super intentionally. But, fair warning, it gets intense right from the start, even during rest.
Oh yeah, it really does. The intensity starts when he's supposed to be sleeping.
Okay, so let's start there then. Where the wild system begins, deep rest. Or what he calls this structured sleep cycle, Platinum Jesus.
Right. And this isn't just hitting the pillow. It's an elaborate 13-step meditation sequence he does towards the end of his sleep cycle, when he's partly lucid.
13 steps while sleeping.
Well, partially lucid sleeping, the goal isn't just rest. It's about consciously managing his internal energy state. The foundation for this is what he calls the soul kernel.
Soul kernel. Okay, for those of us not deep into esoteric practice, what's that involve?
It's a pretty complex visualization designed to anchor the self, so placing the mind in the dantian, feeling the pulse, then visualizing a 6-pointed star driving that pulse, and using the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. That's his anchor, even while sleeping.
Wow, okay. And then he mentions spiraling. He takes an object like God on Monday.
Yeah, and he spirals that energy, that concept, through 13 distinct body bands.
Why 13?
He connects them to the 13 signs of the zodiac. He feels that map is more complete. And crucially, the 13th element corresponds to the knees.
The knees.
Yeah, which he links to the sign Ophiuchus, or Serpentarius, the serpent bearer. He personally identifies with that sign.
So it's a deeply personalized system then.
Looking at inner shapes, pure darkness, what he calls the cracks of reality, trying to embody the absolute. It's incredibly dense stuff for the unconscious mind.
Woo, okay. And then he wakes up. The structure just keeps going, right?
Oh, absolutely. Morning routine starts with dreams. He wakes up, writes them down, then he analyzes them, underlines key bits, while lying crosswise on the bed, head hanging off.
Head hanging off, that's specific.
Yeah, he says it gets a reverse curve on the neck, part of his physical alignment.
Which leads into the next step, movement.
Right. Before anything else really gets going, he uses a doorway bar, hangs with each arm. But while doing that, he keeps the soul kernel visualization going.
So the star, the dantian, the pulse, even while hanging.
Exactly. He says it corrects his back, builds upper body strength. It's about integrating the physical and energetic.
Okay, deep breath here. This leads us to, you're in therapy.
Yep, it's in the system.
Yeah.
He collects the first urine of the day.
Yeah. What does he do with it?
He uses a few drops in his eyes. While doing that, he mentally reviews what he calls the triplicity permutations.
Triplicity permutations.
Positive, negative, neutral ways he could engage with reality that day. It's like setting his intention, his approach.
Okay, and the rest.
He drinks the remainder while moving. From standing into a relaxed, flat-footed squat like a third world squat. Repeats that about a dozen times.
Wow. Okay. The intentionality is undeniable, even if the practice itself is unusual for many.
He cites Hindu Upanishads for context. The principle seems to be about, radical self-acceptance, connection to ancient practices, using the body's own output ritually.
So after the physical regulation comes the mental reset.
Right. His daily welcome. Stands in the mirror, states the date, 269th day of the year.
Right.
And names 5 things he's genuinely enthusiastic about.
A structured psychological launch.
Exactly. And that fuels his daily notebook. He organizes thoughts using this acronym, Acting Willow.
Acting Willow. Let's break that down.
Appreciation, confirmation, tactic, implementation, new growth, wild idea, love letter, and open wisdom. It's a framework for processing thoughts.
And he applies this framework across 13 aspects of life.
Every single day. Health, relationship, business, creativity, spirituality, causes, recreation, learning, dreams, miscellaneous, frameworks, teaching, and wholeness. 13 total.
That's the centripetal polymath right there. All the data feeds back into these core areas.
Exactly. So internal self is locked down. Now, how does he deal with the outside world? That's the namaste practice.
Okay, what's that?
When he interacts with people, he mentally projects this soul kernel visualization, the star, the mantra, into their dantian, recognizing the divine in them.
A kind of energetic acknowledgement. Okay, so that covers the incredibly dense daily structure. Let's zoom out a bit. How does this internal work translate into his weekly output, the centripetal system in action?
Right. This is where the Spiro creative entrepreneur really kicks in. His business relies on structured, high-volume creation.
Like the Message Maestro newsletter, his AI music brand.
Yeah, he posts there 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
And this feeds into his core strategy, prismatic publishing.
Prismatic publishing sounds interesting. What's the concept?
It's strategic. Instead of creating separate content for every channel, he starts with one core message, a single idea.
Okay.
Then he runs that message through multiple prisms, different delivery systems.
So one idea becomes
A blog post, maybe a PDF guide, an AI-generated song related to it, maybe even part of an app workflow. The message is the concept. The output form changes.
maximizing reach from one core concept. Very efficient.
That's the Spiro creative entrepreneur part, pure efficiency. Creatively, he's also working on his novel, Gwella.
Gwella, Gaelic for to get well.
That's the one. About a barefoot hearse driver on a shamanic journey through 9 lifetimes. He works on that 3 times a week.
And posts related stuff to his Gaia Core Facebook page too, right? 3 times a week.
Correct. And his music practice is just as structured. Harmonica, performance songs, tapping, slide, finger picks, exploring Romanian harmony.
Wow, diverse.
And he always finishes music practice with a Tibetan eye chart exercise for visual focus, mental acuity.
So, with all this output and practice, how does the centripetal polymath keep learning, keep feeding the system?
That's Tuesdays and Thursdays,
Yeah.
executive functioning time. He often stays in bed, reading, has a briefcase full of printed articles on, well, anything that catches his interest.
Whatever fuels that centripetal convergence.
Exactly. And this reading time is paired with a more elaborate acting willow session in his notebook, deeper processing.
He also uses ancient frameworks like the Enneagram for insight, right? Not just organizing.
Yeah, definitely not just for planning his day. He uses it to, decipher reality. He fuses it with the Tarot's 22 major arcana, the inner lines of the Enneagram.
He calls that alchemical autolysis.
Right. It sounds intense, and it is. It's about breaking down a concept through these different symbolic lenses until some kind of integrated truth emerges, finding the hidden connections.
On the entrepreneurial side, he's active in that Ignite marketing group.
Very active. Big focus on AI tech there. Weekly calls, Traffic Tuesdays, tech calls, monthly workshops. Fits right in.
And spiritually, there's Wu Rabu, weekly practice.
It's his way of combining meditation with physical activity, walking, running, biking.
How does that work?
He uses his regulation meditation technique, but focuses on specific hexagrams from the I Ching. He's mapped them onto 64 acupuncture points on his body.
So his run becomes an active meditation using I Ching patterns mapped to his physiology.
Basically, yeah. Turns a workout into a spiritual focus, using these ancient patterns as a guide.
Okay. And before bed, at least some nights, there's another check-in.
Yeah, first 3 nights of the week. This clown character he uses embodying, stupidity.
Stupidity. Why?
He sees embracing stupidity, or maybe acknowledging ignorance, as a way to get to brilliance without arrogance. It's a psychological check-in, using a process based on the Enneagram.
And after that?
Electronic moxa infrared heat therapy while reading, like a thriller, a historical novel, and a metaphysical text.
Multitasking right up to the end. That's an absolutely packed daily and weekly schedule.
It really is.
So section 3, this is where it all aims for wholeness, right? Especially in relationships with the tolerance protocol.
Yes. This is a highly structured framework he uses with his wife, developed over 7 years. The core principles are powerful.
Like what?
Rule 1. The relationship itself is more important than any single issue, even something silly like which way the toilet paper goes.
It's prioritizing the connection.
Rule 2. Always, always ask for permission. Before you give advice, before you bring up a difficult topic, you need a yes first.
That's huge. Prevents ambushing someone?
Yeah.
What about when things get heated?
Critical rule. If both people get triggered, you stop talking. immediately.
Just stop.
Stop. Go regulate individually.
Yeah.
Might take hours, might take days, but you don't re-engage until both are calm.
That idea alone, mandatory individual regulation before trying to communicate when triggered, that's a massive takeaway for anyone, really.
Huge. And when they do talk, they use a 5-minute timer. The speaker uses I statements, ends with a request, not a demand.
And the listener's role.
Highly structured. First, they have to mirror back exactly what they heard the speaker say, word for word if needed.
To ensure understanding.
Yes. And then they validate.
And validation here doesn't mean agreeing, does it?
Absolutely not. CM is very clear on this. Validation is showing you understand how the speaker could feel that way, given their perspective. It's the steelman approach to feelings. You make their point understandable, even if you disagree.
So the person feels heard, truly heard.
Exactly. After the talking, if needed, they move to silent co-regulation holding. Just being physically close, feeling through past trauma together without words.
Helping dissipate old stuff through connection.
Yeah. And for really deep, stuck feelings, they use a shamanic technique. Trapdoor skylight.
Okay, explain that.
One person guides the other. Imagine going down through a trapdoor into that feeling, deeper and deeper, until they find some peace or get a message. Then they return via a skylight, bringing back transformation.
And if it's just a vague, blah feeling.
Then they skip the trapdoor, just use the skylight part, aiming to find a slightly better emotional state, get a little lift.
Wow, that's some serious relationship tech.
It really is. Deep relational engineering.
This whole centripetal idea of finding the connections, it extends to his personal vision work, too.
Totally. Every Friday, he does a 12-step vision journal. It's for developing a new aspect of himself, like becoming a wholeness geek, for example.
12 steps, what's involved?
Things like the 7 whys to get to the root motivation. Exploring feared thoughts about it using something called SYZYGY, setting timelines, far future, near past, middle, structured self-creation.
Even his spiritual connection is formalized daily, right? Before eating.
Yeah. Recites an Aramaic interpretation of the Lord's Prayer. While doing it, he moves that 6-pointed star through the chakras, ending at the crown with a specific mantra. Raise Kalki with this psalm.
Kalki. That name came up before. What's the significance for him?
Kalki is the final avatar in Hindu tradition. But CM's take is different. He believes the next avatar won't be one person.
Not a person. Then what?
Kalki, for him, represents the collective avatar. The next evolutionary step for humanity is uniting as one species, achieving, as he puts it, divine humanship.
A collective awakening, essentially.
That seems to be the idea, and this collective theme shows up monthly, too. He has a Zoom call, Take Action Prayer.
What happens there?
20 minutes focusing on global prayer topics, then 10 minutes on local or personal ones.
And the dream work continues monthly as well.
Yeah, with a method called Playing Back Your Dream. It's derived from playback theater.
How does that work?
You share a dream, and then elements from the dream people, objects, feelings are turned into characters. An ensemble acts them out improvisationally. The performance itself reveals the dream's analysis.
Performing the dream to understand it. Fascinating.
It's a very embodied, active form of dream analysis. He also has monthly diversity group and critique group sessions for Bennett, Gurdjieff, Enneagram, and for workshopping his writing, Gwella, and his memoir.
So tying it all together, this centripetal view metaphor he uses.
Wow. He says if you want to understand the night sky, you don't try to grasp every single star at once. You pick 3 distinct constellations, 3 core areas, maybe spirituality, relationships, tech for him.
Okay.
And you focus on the relationships between those constellations. That intentional structure defines the area in between the whole picture.
So we've kind of mapped his wild system, this fusion of intense meditation like Platinum Jesus, ancient systems like I Ching and Tarot, modern tech like AI workflows, and these hyper-structured relationship protocols.
And it's all underpinned by number systems. 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s, 13s, the 64 hexagrams. Everything is categorized, connected. It's designed to ensure convergence, to manage the potential chaos of being a polymath.
The discipline is just staggering.
Yeah.
200-page index notebook every month to track it all.
That's what allows the output. It's how he makes the polymath goal functional, systematic.
Which really brings us to the final thought, doesn't it, for you listening?
Yeah, the big question, CM uses this incredibly dense, systematic organization as his path to living intentionally, deeply, meaningfully.